Hello, in this video I will show you how to deploy NetBox in Kubernetes with external PostgreSQL. I highlighted 6 tasks. In first task we have to add official Helm repo NetBox Community Edition. Then we create namespace in Kubernetes for NetBox. After that, we will review and customize NetBox values.yaml file that filling up necessary parameters. In fourth step, we create necessary Kubernetes secrets for database connection, admin credentials. In fifth step, we configure PostgreSQL database. We will create database for NetBox, enable required PostgreSQL extension. And finally, we deploy NetBox to Kubernetes with Helm chart. Please subscribe to my channel, give me a like, and go ahead. First off, we need to tell Helm where to find the official NetBox charts. Copy Helm repo with command Helm install repo. That's the official chart repo from the NetBox team. Helm will remember this so you can install NetBox later. Next, let's make sure Helm got the freshest info from all your repos, including this one. Just run Helm repo update. Now Helm knows about the latest version of NetBox, any updates, fixes. Now we will create dedicated namespace for the NetBox. Everything NetBox related pod service config we will leave in this namespace. No confusion. Let's go ahead and see official repository. Open GitHub with NetBox. Let's go to the charts, NetBox charts, NetBox, and see values.yaml file. There are a lot of options for your installation. Now I want to explain you what you have to do with it, how you can configure minimal options for your deploying into the Kubernetes cluster. Just copy this values YAML to your machine and let's edit. Now you see my values YAML file, and we're starting simple, just one instance for NetBox. If you need high available later, you can bump this up, but for now one pod gets the job done. Here's the actual Docker image we're using. It's pulled from GitHub Container Registry, and we're looking at version 4.4.1, so we don't accidentally get breaking updates. Smart move production. Big decision here, instead of letting Helm spin up its own PostgreSQL pod in Kubernetes, which is fine only for testing, we are pointing to NetBox use external PostgreSQL. Why? Because in real life you probably already have a managed pro Postgres server or dedicated DB VM. This keeps your data safe even if you redeploy NetBox. Here you see two parameters, secret name and secret key. I show you how to configure this a little bit later. Okay. Here NetBox needs super secret key for security stuff like sign-in session. Instead of putting it right here in the plain text, we references a Kubernetes secret called NetBox secret key as well, like with PostgreSQL. Next, this part automatically create your super user admin to NetBox. You can point here password and login and password, email, but I wanna show you how to hide this in Kubernetes secret, like a PostgreSQL, like a NetBox session manager. Next, this defines how other pods in the cluster can talk to NetBox. We're using cluster IP, so it's only accessible inside Kubernetes, not from outside world. Traffic comes in on port 80, but get forwarded to the port 8080, where NetBox web server actually listen. If you wanted to expose this publicly later, you change this load balancer or add ingress that we will be do later, but for now internal only is perfect. Now you see how I expose my NetBox outside from the cluster Kubernetes because we have a cluster IP. If you don't know what difference is between cluster IP, load balancer, how to expose your services external or maybe stay close into Kubernetes, watch my video. But now we have ingress, we point here namespace, and what is host name. We will use NetBox automation tools. Next we use HTTPS and add certificates into Kubernetes cluster as secret. I show you a little bit later. We point here that backend of NetBox we will use 80 port, this one. 80 port. So next, NetBox Story uploaded files like device images, a rect diagram on disk. So we need persistent storage. I have a storage class NFS. Here's use NFS baked storage class called NFS CSI. You'll need to swap this to match whatever storage your cluster support, like standard GP2, or maybe you use RUCSF, something like this. 20 gigs should be plenty to start, and read-write once means only one pod can write to it, which is fine since you only have one replica. Next parameter, NetBox uses background worker to handle tasks like sending emails, syncing data. We're spinning up one worker pod to handle those jobs. If you got heavy automation, you might scale this later up. And last one parameter, build housekeeping task that cleans up old session and logs. Helm will schedule this as a Kubernetes cron job, so it's run automatically. So that's it. Let's go ahead and start. If you point your own parameters here, you can save it and exit. But before we have to create secrets, as I said before. First up, secrets. Remember those passwords in your values.yaml. We don't want them sitting in a plain text forever, so instead we'll store them securely in Kubernetes secret. Run this to create a super user password. Let's create a secret called NetBox super user here in the NetBox namespace. Later our Helm chart will put the password from here, not from YAML file. Now if you're planning to expose NetBox over HTTPS, you also need to tell a secret. Let's see. I have two certificates here. This one more new one. If you have got your own certs and key like from Let's Encrypt, it's good for you. Let's do this. ls server. This bundles your certificate and private key into standard Kubernetes secret. Helm can use this later if you enable ingress like me. So that's it. Now we created all necessary parameters for Kubernetes secret. Now I'm gonna switch to PostgreSQL to configure database for our deployment. Let's connect to it. If you don't install, please do this. Let's check ctl status PostgreSQL 16 version. I have one. Now switch to the user Postgres. Open PostgreSQL utility. Let's create database and the user. Connect to the new database that I created. Grant schema privileges. Grant sh. Also grant privileges on future tables. And last one, enable required extension for this database only. Create extension and ctex. Now allow Kubernetes cluster to connect, edit the client auth config. Let's exit from the database. Go to end of the file. I have these parameters, host all for this network where I located my Kubernetes cluster, and md hash for method authentication. So let's save and exit. Now your database is ready. Go to your workstation. Back. But before we run our Helm install command, we have to create a secret for the database. Let's see again. Values. What we have? We have existing secret name PostgreSQL. The DB password was NetBox. NetBox PostgreSQL with DB underscore password. Let's create. Now is everything ready? Make sure you are in right directory with your values.yaml and run this command helm install. netbox values. This pulls the official netbox chart from the community repo and edit early. Remember charts netbox and deploy it using all your custom settings. Let's see, watch pod spin up. NetBox just deployed on Kubernetes. Let's open NetBox in the browser. You've just deployed NetBox on Kubernetes with external production-ready database and cache services, secure secret and persistent storage. If this saved you hours of googling, smash that like button, subscribe and drop a comment with what you'd like to see next. Thank you, bye bye.